It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we're running it back with the two teams from Super Bowl 35. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants under the lights on Monday night.
It can hold over 82,000 fans, and every one of those seats is filled for this one, as our coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Hewitt. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
We're through the warm-ups. Both teams are ready. And away we go from East Rutherford. Gray now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So out come the Giants. Their first drive of the game coming up. They'll be led out by this promising young signal caller. Already a starter in his first season out of Ole Miss.
Kate, when I watch these rookie quarterbacks running out to open a game, I think of the old World Series great pitcher Cliff Lee. And he made a one-handed play in the World Series and was asked about it afterwards. They said, man, how do you have so much poise? You didn't even look nervous on that stage. And he said, sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. You got to tell yourself you'll be just fine. And these rookie QBs, that's part of the learning curve they're climbing.
First play is to the air. Escapes the pocket. Now here he goes.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And he's brought down for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make third down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this third down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Throwing off the play fake here. He's on the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Every defense in this league is going to sign up for a 3-and-out to begin a ball game. But to send him off the field, to really add that extra tone setter by backing him up with a sack, well, that's the cherry on top of that 3-and-out.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. So the Ravens offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by someone who is the modern example of an elite running quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
A decade plus before Lamar, it was a guy named Michael Vick who was the standard for dual-threat quarterbacks. Well, today, that standard is Lamar Jackson, who at his best is an MVP-caliber player and most exciting player, not just in his position, but in all of football. And don't let that running overshadow the strides he's made as a passer, too, in the pocket and as a franchise quarterback to build upon.
Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Motion man sent left. This is Henry on second. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Oh, they're going to run the option to the short side. Big gain, has them across the 40. He does it, touchdown Baltimore! The Ravens don't need long to take a 6-0 lead. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. My partner up here is pumping his fist after that one. That is how you run an option as a quarterback. Good read to hang on to it and do it himself.
Yeah, because I could never do that, not even close. But when the defense overplays and you run that option, you get that good 2-on-1, more times than not, they will commit to the more dangerous guy, the running back. But you leave a lane, this quarterback can do some damage as well.
Looking to tack on the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Ravens will jump out to a 7-0 lead. The Ravens kicking team is ready. Now they're going to send this one away. Starting from the 5. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. The Giants taking the field for their second possession. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening first down as they take the field a second time. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Caught by Theo Johnson. And he's out of bounds just past, looks like, the 40-yard line.
As a quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. A give to Tracy up the middle. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Man in motion here. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know, for pitchers, you'll hear them say, gosh, you got to pitch this guy backwards. For defenses, you got to do the same at times, Kate. You just can't always run it on first. You got to mix in some high-percentage pass plays. Otherwise, you're going to get hit right in the face for a loss just like that.
Here's 2nd and 11. Escapes the pocket. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
That may have been a situation when you look back on it and he watches the tape the next day, that he's got to find a way to throw the ball because his running ability, while it gets him some yards, is not enough to get the first down.
Ravens bring an extra DB out there. 3rd down coming up. Now looking to throw. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Even from the booth, Kate, I could hear it. I could hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did, wasted no time in getting that sack.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. That's Odafe Owe with a stop.
You know, Kay, one of the reasons it's so hard to run the ball in the NFL is to move grown men off their spot against their will. You get a run play like that, you've done your job. You've moved them against their will, and you've set yourself up for some later success.
3rd and long for him here. Has his man, it's Tracy. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. This is from 35 out on the left hash. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
You know, you look at that 3rd down play, looking back, and it really turns into a 3-point play. It's why situational work is so critical. Coaches talk about it all the time. Sure, you love the field goal, but man, they would have loved a touchdown more.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. On the return, here comes Justice Hill. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Ravens offense returning to the field for their 2nd possession. Their last drive contained a heavy dose of the ground game, a little old-school dominance on the way to a touchdown, Brock. Let's see if they stick with it or if they go aerial this time around. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Lamar off the play fake. Flushed out of the pocket. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
Tick, tick, tick. Tick, tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Here's Henry on the option. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. No gain on the play. Defense holds yet again, and now it's 4th and a yard.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens gonna punt this away, and here's Jordan Stout to handle that boot. Fair catch made a little beyond the 20-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tracy. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Throwing from the gun. He's got him. That's Tracy. And he gets it up close to the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Escapes the pocket. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Kate, it's pretty clear, isn't it? It's this constant pressure that this defense has imposed on this offense to keep them out of rhythm and build up this lead. This offense is not going to author a comeback if this quarterback continues to run for his life.
That's the end of our 1st quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. Neither side separating much so far. We'll get back to East Rutherford after this. Jamie Gillen on now to punt. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. Got 44 yards on his first kick, Brock, and this one looks to be longer. Fair catch called for and made. Looks like that's at the 36-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Ravens will go on offense. Markers reset, ball at the 37. The drive begins with Henry. And he drives ahead for good yardage up to the 45. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Now Jaxson off the play action. Taken in by Likely. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
First down, here's Lamar. Brought in along the sideline. No gain on the play, but an impressive catch all the same.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Motioning right is Hopkins. Play action now with Jaxson. Throw right side is caught by Hopkins. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. They're set up at the 35 now. One of the tight ends motioning left. It's complete to Hopkins. And he gets him around 6 there. That was Kayvon Thibodeau there to wrap him up. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Play action, here's Jaxson. He's on the move. He can run it. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a first down.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Henry. And he's down into the red zone. This run gets to the 18. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
On 2nd down, here's Henry again. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you can just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
3rd and 4 coming up now. From the gun, Jaxson. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3.
I can promise you, that's not what it looked like on the practice field nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Flying down the middle with Henry. And he's got them down to the doorstep inside the 5. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
Now Jaxson on 3rd down. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens now lead by 10. Mark Andrews with the touchdown. He hung in there as long as he could. A lot of quarterbacks would have bailed out, and it was what you talk about, Brock, that courage that kept the chance for the touchdown alive.
Yeah, that touchdown's going to show up on his stat sheet making the catch or the quarterback stat sheet for making the throw, but hey, can we put some touchdowns up there for the big boys up front? It was their blocking and buying of time for that play that led to the score.
Kicking unit comes out for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Ravens drive their lead to 11. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. Gray now on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. Now here comes the New York offense. It's a 14-3 ball game as they take over following the score. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. A handoff to Tracy. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Tackled on the play by Marlon Humphrey. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a groove, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
Here's Tracy once more. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. So it's the 2-minute warning here from MetLife. The Giants in possession. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Throwing now on 1st down. Pass cut by Tracy. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Chopping that play, Trenton Simpson.
You could see that screen develop as the linemen pull right out in front. Sets up a nice gain. Love to see a running back utilize the big man in front of him.
The Giants moving quickly. They're in the hurry up here. Throwing now, off play action. That's complete to Darius Slayton. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page, because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectiveness.
To throw here on 1st down. Like a good target, Brock, Neighbors is there. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Second and 3 now. They kick the running back in motion. From the 39. Dumped off to his running back. And he takes it inside the 35 before heading out. 6 yards on the play and enough for a 1st.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, running back in the flat.
Able to hit Robinson, complete. This is ahead for about 5. Chopping that play, Trenton Simpson. Offense to the line for 2nd down. From the 28. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Pass play now. He has the 1st over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Offense set for a 1st and 10. Throwing it again here. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
2nd and 10 now. Setting up the screen. And he's brought down for a loss. Timeout called, and that's going to be the 2nd for New York. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Back to throw now. Taken in by Bellinger. And he'll go down here at the 16. Now just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense. And they can try for some points going into the break. On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. It's a 33-yard look from the right hash. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Here comes the final play of our first half. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And he doesn't get much there on what turns out to be the final play of the half. So we've reached the halftime break. It's the Ravens leading so far on the road. Now down the coast we go to Orlando, Florida, in our studio there. Jonathan Coachman waiting by with the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. With that, the two squads are headed out of the tunnel. So let's get you back out to Kay Scott and Brock Eward.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. Gano ready to send this away. Returning it from the 4. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. The Raven offense headed out for this first series of the second half. First and 10 now from the 30. Henry gets it here to start the drive. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. Bobby Okereke making that stop. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Flowers will go in motion left. He'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. Brian Burns coming up with the stop. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
You know, that's one of those plays when you call it, you expect to get decent yards every time. Seeing it stopped at the line, man, that's deflating offensively.
Man in motion, out of the slot. Jaxson now on third. This one's to Andrews out right. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Give to Henry on the inside handoff. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run, but I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
First down throw for Jaxson. Forced out to his right. Now here he goes. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Well, I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Now it's Lamar. Complete, Derrick Henry. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens grow the lead coming out of halftime. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Now we'll see them try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Ravens lead by 15 now. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And this drive will start inside the 25. So here come the Giants, ready to take over again on offense. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them, really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They send the tight end in motion. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
gets this to Jaxson. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 28 out of that play. And the Giants will have a first down.
I think the defense is still turned around looking for where the ball is, because that QB and tight ends, they got that ball out in a hurry.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Trying the right side with Tracy. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You're trading a little bit of speed, sure. You sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
2nd and 3 now. Robinson sent in motion left. On the handoff, this is Tracy. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline and his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
You're going to go play action, Kate. You've got to sell, sell, sell. If you don't convince that defense you're running it, or if it's a situation where you never run the ball, you really do leave your quarterback dead in the water, vulnerable against a defense who will storm right past that fake and right into that pocket.
The Giants are set to punt. It's going to be Jamie Gillen doing the honors. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson are ready to go again on offense. And you may as well call him a constant headache that this defense has had to deal with all game long. I mean, they game plan to slow down his passing work, but it's been his rushes that have really broken the spirit of this unit. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They run it with King Henry. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
2nd down now, 7 to go. One of the tight ends motioning right. From the 26 on 2nd down. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down. Play action now with Jaxson. Escapes out to the left. He's running for it. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
That's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a 1st down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
They send one of the tight ends in motion right. Throwing now on 1st down, it's Jaxson. That one complete to Hopkins. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know what I love about this? Never showing panic. When he leaves the pocket, look at his eyes. They continue to search downfield. They're never looking at the rush. They're finding the open man downfield before running out of real estate.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Lamar now from the gun. Andrews with the catch. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Connects with Bateman. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Giants' side of the field. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Lamar throwing again. This one's taken in by Hill. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
From the gun, a run for Henry. And that play backfired. He's brought down way behind the line. Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the 3rd. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Jaxson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I don't know if I've ever told you, but my dad was a driver's ed teacher. And I could just hear him right now say, son, take this out of reverse and put it in drive, because this one's going nowhere right now. A drastic change on this play needed, and maybe a whole lot of luck to keep this series alive.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. From the gun, Jaxson. And they get to him again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough 4th down.
I'm just looking at this hourglass of sand, Kate, and realizing there's not much time left for this team. But the only chance they had was to create a sack right there. Give a little momentum to their offense, who now has no margin for error. You got to go score.
Baltimore lined up in punt formation. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And the Giants are going to take over with a lot of field ahead of them. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he crosses the sideline a yard or 2 beyond that 30. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
On these 1st and 10 calls, defenses are always keyed in that a run might be coming their way. And as soon as the QB turned to give the ball, the entire defense came crashing in to bury them for a loss.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He finds Jaxson. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Throwing with a blitz on the way. He has the first over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
1st and 10 from the 41. Pass play coming here. Has his man, it's Tracy. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out.
Well, that was great timing. Great timing by the big fellas to get out in front of that screen. You could see it coming. Running back has the lineman in front of him to clear a little space, and it was all about his athleticism after that.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Throwing it again here. Pass cut by Tracy. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Kate, that's one of those situations as a quarterback that on my grade sheet, that's a negative. That screen was ambushed by the defense, and you've got to throw it away. Just find a way to put it at his feet and not create a negative play for your offense.
3rd and long for him here. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Give him 24 on that play. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the 1st down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it sets up 2nd down. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't. Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. He'll throw it. Getting out to his left. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
As much as you'd like to find a completion and get the ball out of your hands, when a play breaks down, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on his ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that.
And he scores. It's a New York touchdown. The Giants can make it a 1-score game as they trim the lead. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Extra point try coming. This would importantly make it a 1-score game. The kick is good, and they've moved back within a possession in the 4th. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Hill now to return it. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now, and this really looks like a whole different ball game after that touchdown, doesn't it? They really need to go on a drive here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Jaxson. He's got Andrews. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Second and 6 coming up here. Lamar off the play fake. Into the hands of Likely. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Sometimes you're looking to push the ball down the field. But as I've said before, the crumbs lead to a cookie. And you never go broke taking a profit, and those big tight ends will often find you those easy check down yards.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. And they'll let the clock run all the way down and expire. Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty. So they should be a little prompter in snapping this, you'd hope, Brock, after that delay of game. They send a man in motion. They'll run here, following the penalty. Down the sideline to the 45. And finally down right along that opposing 40. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Out of the option, he's going to keep it going right. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Going with King Henry here. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Another run for Henry. And he carries it for a big gain that gets him down into the red zone. The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Running once more with Henry. It's a meager 2-yard gain, but that's enough to award them the 1st down.
That is some old school brutality. An offense close to a 1st down, a defense that knows there's a run headed right its way. In a battle of wills, the offense gets it done.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. The Ravens in victory formation and content to just knee this one out.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
After one final kneel down, partner, and this should do it. So the Ravens will fly home with the win. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And Kate, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game that's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are your winners as we say so long from New York.